Yes, shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah, back at here another day, man. Abu Razak, the water yo Bashim Shah. Now we're not in the car now, innit? We're not in the car now. We're out here because the weather's fresh. Looks like we're getting into a nice, getting into the nice fresh air. Summer on its way. We're in spring, so Lord willing, we're gonna be able to do more of these outdoor ones. And if whatever the spirit, anyway, sometimes we may have to return back to the car, depending on the weather. Abu Razak. But before we go in and start this video, we're going to give all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kodash.
Double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this 100% truth. Abu Razak. Today's lesson will be edifying to all the sincere out there. So we're going to introduce ourselves.
My name is Brother Ahab.
Ariyah.
Brother Ra'azar, Halawiyah.
Yeah, man.
Or Ra'azar for short.
Yeah, so we're going to start with that precept
Habakkuk 2.
The one you're holding, yeah.
This is Habakkuk 2 and verse 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord, Yahweh's right hand, shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory.
Yeah, shameful spewing is on them right now. Babylon, the mother of Babylon. Yeah, you had that precept, hold it, and we're going to go bring out the unclean frogs. Because you got over here the mother of Babylon. We're going to talk about the three unclean frogs. And really the shameful spewing is directed to Babylon, the mother of Babylon. And the heathen nations, they're going to get the shame. They're going to get their shame as well. This is exposed as well. That's also in you can hold that one before you bring up what you got. Isaiah 47. Yeah, hold it on board.
This is Revelation 16 and 13. And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the prophet, the false prophet.
Yeah. You can break down the first one of the frogs.
So one of them is the religious side. You could liken that to the Vatican.
Yeah.
Then you got the second
over there in Spain. That's over there in Spain.
Or
Rome. It's over there in Rome. Yeah. The Vatican, which is known for the corruption that they be taking place behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's the false prophet.
So that's the false prophet, right? One of the false frogs, and brothers know it's not no secret about all the pedos, and what's going on over here, even over here in England, with the cardinals, the priests, and something's coming out at the moment, which Lord Winner can get into that. Something's been spoken about at the moment about one of the priests, should he be fired or should I have mercy upon him, one of the cardinals over here, the mother of Babylon. But over there in America, it's really, what happens to them, they usually get off. Yeah, they move them onto other parishes when it's found out what they've done behind the scenes as far as the children and all of that. And then you got the Bank of England, which is the financial. You want to break that one down?
Come on,
I'll break down the last one.
Yeah, so really you could liken London here in the UK as the financial part, of the three unclean frogs. Literally, that's just where they gain all the funding.
The Bank of England, that's the Bank of England. Yeah, and then you got, which is known as one of the main unclean frogs, the Bank of England. The corrupt finances, the corrupt bank where all the transactions will be taking place. And underneath the bank, you got the vaults where all the gold is, which belongs to us, Yahshua Allah, which they stole from us. And that, as we know, gold is only transferred. You can't, it's transferred, it doesn't, deteriorate. It stays, it remains. So that all the gold that they've took from the temple, when they robbed the temple, Yahshua Allah from the temple, it's always been transferred, which we can get into some of that as well, as far as all the kingdoms was mentioned in Daniel, and Daniel chapters 2, Daniel chapter 7. It goes into all those kingdoms that was reigning. We were also part of the jewels. It talks about the jewels, that's a mention of that. That's us, the prime jewels, which is the elect, right? So black people are the prime jewels. So you got the other, we're talking about, did you read it? Revelation 13 and 16 again about the three unclean frogs.
This is Revelation, we haven't done the third frog.
Yeah.
Revelation 16 and 13, and I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false
Right.
prophet.
So the third one now, we broke down the first, the second. The first was the banking system over here in England, the Bank of England with all the financials, the corrupt financials, and they got our gold. And then you had over there in Rome, the Vatican, where all the trafficking be taking place, and that goes deep, right? The Vatican, Rome, and the false prophet, right? Which is one of the latest one. What's his name? Just check up on what's happening with the latest one, the latest Pope, just to see what's happening with him. Things be coming out about him a little bit, about him. He's in and out of hospital.
Yeah, in and out. He once when he's sick and then he's recovered and he's sick again.
Yeah, while he's looking out, have you got something?
No, no, yet.
All right, then bring out that one, Isaiah 47, and just read that one from the top, and while you're looking for that.
Correct.
Isaiah 47 verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered.
Yeah.
Yea, thy shame will be seen. I will take vengeance and will not meet thee as a man.
Right, yeah. Stop there. That backs up the shameful spirit, man.
Yeah.
And what's happening to him? We're just using him as an example. The last cardinal or the last pope in as a matter of fact, we could get that too. What's happening with King Vatican visits Pope? Read it, Baba.
It says King's Vatican visit postponed due to Pope illness.
See, right. That helps the point. And something's happening with him. He's been in the hospital recently as well.
Well, King Charles.
King Charles.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're addressing the unclean throngs, and you got over here the Vatican over here. I like it when I can remember the Vatican over here. The military, right? It's one of the unclean frogs, which is in Arlington, Washington D.C. Arlington, over here in America. The Vatican, the Vatican. The Pentagon. Yeah, I get that. I got a mental block on it. So let me read a little bit of it, right? The Pentagon, located in Arlington County, Virginia, across the Potomac River. Because when you read things, it starts to digest and it becomes and part of you to remember.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have a mental block on a particular name or particular word, and there's no way you can just, you got. That's why we go over breakdowns.
Cool.
We're encouraged to go over breakdowns, or it might be a word that you just stumble with, or a certain particular Hebrew, right? I used to struggle with the Matthew 6 and 9, the Our Father prayer in the Hebrew. And when I was struggling with it so much, I said to myself, right, I'm going to apply myself to it. And I just started to read it, and one of the first Hebrew prayers I got over was saying the curses as well, and I got over that obstacle. Which if you have a mental block on a particular breakdown or a particular word or a Hebrew word or shalak, when you have shalak, rayam, national, go over it. Don't try to sidestep it.
If I may add to you, Brother Ariel, and there's two reasons behind it, yeah? Because for one, we're in these bodies, we tend to forget things, right? And secondly, this truth is there's so much information in this truth, you can't contain everything, you see? So when we try to absorb one information, that's what, as you said before, we have to keep it repeating and going over the precepts, over the
to remember.
Repetition
is the father of learning.
Because there's so much information going. That's why apostles all the time, they're always bringing up new things.
Yeah.
You see?
And we try our best.
And we try to keep up
with these bodies.
As you said, the bodies.
Yeah.
Go
so
ahead, brother.
On the title that we're focusing on today, is to how to overcome the evil with the good. And that's another thing too, that once you get that, you don't forget that, right? Like I say, we're going over it.
Yes, you can.
Yes, no problem.
Thank you.
So that's how, because why we do that? We have to deal with relationship wise, right? Family, girl, your woman, one or two, if you've got 2, 3, whatever. Overcoming the evil with the good is going to help you to maintain the relationships, or in the corporate world too. You know what I mean?
I've got a scripture to back up, as you called earlier. Jeremiah 13:17. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord, because thou called thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, whom no man seeketh after.
Yeah, you're gonna restore her, man. Restore us. Yeah, you're gonna restore us. While we're here behind enemy lines, hold a precept here. Jeremiah 30 and verse 17.
I've got it here, brother.
All right,
Yeah.
and bring that one out. Since you brought that one out, you brought that other precept to my mind. And you hold Exodus 14 and 14. Baba Kushar.
Jeremiah 30 verse 17.
Take your time, brother. Take your time.
Okay, 17.
You got it.
I've got it here, brother. Oh, that's the one I called. I just spoke. That's the spirit. That's the spirit. That's the one I just read a while ago. Jeremiah 30, verse 30. For I will restore health unto thee. That's the spirit.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Exodus. This is Exodus 14 and 14 to support that.
As a matter of fact, you don't cut it short. Read it again, because that's another thing. We got to take our time, learn to slow it down, and let it. What's the word? Because I always, sometimes your head be running ahead, or your mind be racing. And I know I've heard some brothers be saying it. Sometimes your mind be racing. You don't realize it.
Yes.
You may look back, check back your video, and okay, let it settle, let it marinate, as they say. When you're doing a chicken, it's like the same thing when you're in the kitchen, isn't it? We've got a chef. We've got a chef right here.
Ex-chef.
Former chef, but he's still a chef for the brothers. Them in the spirit. You're gonna be a chef again. Yeah,
in the kingdom.
Don't worry, you be doing my cooking for me and the Lord willing. We both enjoy to the end. You understand? Well, we're gonna have servants, but we might feel like, I don't know anyway. But we're gonna have servants.
I will still cook for you the same way.
There you go, because we find it.
Yes.
We find it. What's the word? There's a word.
Like a leisure activity.
It's a leisure activity, but it's also therapeutic. When you're in this, cause me, I'm into my herbs. It's like we're gonna have to mention this now. We're talking about it. I'm like a mad scientist. Brothers have to calm me down every now and then. I'm just like a mad. You can't help it, man. But in the kitchen, it's the same principle. You're like a mad scientist. You like to create. Jake like to create, man. We're the form of all things. Yes. We like to get busy in whatever we're applying ourselves to. Brothers be applying themselves to their fitnesses and stuff. When they apply themselves to that, they be doing, they be accomplishing what they want to accomplish. Which is everything's for the glory of the Lord anyway.
That's true, brother.
If we want to be healthy, we want to be able to be healthy so that we can continue do the work. If we want to be cooking, we're practicing so that we can, when we're in, we had a beautiful Passover, and we've got to give some credit to the chef, because he don't want to take no credit, but we're going to give him some credit. The Passover was blessed, and the whole of it, with all the brothers playing their role. The bread,
yes, brother.
I don't want to put no one on the spot, but the bread, the lamb, and it's not just a lamb dinner, but I got to give credit where it's due. It was more than a lamb dinner, but the lamb went down. It was nice. The wine, and everybody played their part. The association. The breaking the ice. As time goes on, while we're still in this kingdom, we're still getting closer to each other.
As the brother said, it's a solemn assembly.
Assembly,
but everything worked in together. In together, they all came together. Yes.
Yeah.
The body, the wine. Yes. Everything came together.
Yeah.
You see. So as you said,
the respect was due to everybody, and the ultimate thing, as you say, was a solemn assembly. And we're looking forward to, we gave the glory to Yahushua, and we're looking forward to, because the appreciation comes over you more as time goes on. The appreciation for what he did for us. So we're looking forward to Abaraza we enjoy to the end, and we get the full, as the elder apostles say, the reunion.
Yes.
That's what we're really looking forward to.
Yes.
Was you going to say something?
There's a scripture I was going to go to, and it says, the Lord said, Yahushua said, I will not, I'm paraphrasing, but if everybody can get it, brother. Yeah. The Lord said, I will not drink this wine again until what? Until we sit together. He said when we all come together.
All right, so we're going to.
So he said about the reunion. That is going to come. That reunion is going to come.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I will not drink this wine until.
He's going to find it. He's going to find it.
Yes,
so we're going to let it marinate. What we just been speaking about. We're going to slow it down. We're going to take our time. The brother's going to find that precept. We're not going to proceed further until the brother finds that precept. Because we've got some things we want to discuss today.
Yes.
But since the Spirit had us talk about, we started off by talking about what in the kitchen, and you know what I mean, and brothers, we've got chefs among us, because really we're learning. We're merciful brothers, and we're encouraged to be merciful to brothers.
I got it, brother.
And to the people.
I got it.
Oh, you got
but really, we have to be merciful.
You got it. You got it. Go. Bring it on.
I'm just making a point that we're learning to be merciful to ourselves as well.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You got it?
Yeah. This is Luke 22. Verse 17, KJ. Luke 22, 17. So Luke 22 and 17, and he took the cup and gave thanks and said, take this and divide it among yourselves. For I say unto you, I will not drink of the fruit of the vine until the kingdom of the Most High shall come.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, that's the ultimate goal. Why we're here, we want to be we want salvation. We want to be saved, and we want to be continuing to do the work. There's a precept that's come to mind. We don't got to get it, but Matthew, is it 6 and 9? Hallowed in the name, sanctifying Yahushua's name, because we want to give credit. Well, while we're here, we want salvation, but we also, before that, we want to continue.
Yes.
You know, that's why we continue to do these videos and sit down among our brothers in the highways and the byway. We're all giving glory to the name of the Lord, right? Hallowed in His name. We're hallowed. You know, prophets, other writers are we're the men coming back. Hallowed in that name. You know, we had Silver Surfer. He was hallowed in his God, Galactia. For those that know a little bit about that. Galactus, Galactus, the giant demigod or some form of a god. But he was Silver Surfer. He was hallowed in. He would search out universes and worlds so that before Galactus, don't want to upset the man them who's into the God. Don't upset them, because if a man's into the Trekkies, right, and you're just talking about Trek, you know, which is all about the space and Star Wars. They get mad when you don't say it right, Ark. Because some of them are die-hard Trekkies. And I think I've upset one in the past. I've upset a brother before, so I tried to correct it, because I didn't want the man to get, you know, I'm just, you know. But it's all jokes at the end of the day. But it's the same thing, same principle applies. So Harold, say the name, man. Say it.
Galactus.
Right. So our God, right, or our Savior is Yahushua. He saves, He delivers. We're held in. Before He comes, He returns. He's got some things He's going to do. And he's prepared the way for us, and everything He did, back to the main reason why we took part of the Passat, was that through His stripes we are saved, man. We're giving Him the glory, man, you know, and we want Him to get His lick back. Yeah, we want salvation, but He has to get His lick back. Yeah, what precept you got? Bring it out.
And on that point as well, before I bring out the precept, that's how we're going to overcome the evil with good. Because it's through Yahushua, He's going to pave the way for us in order to overcome the evil that the Most High has used Esau for in order to afflict Jacob. So that's how, ultimately, to summarize it, that's how we're going to overcome it.
Well, it is as good as done in the spirit world, but we have to play it out on earth.
So this is 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 5. For there is one power and one mediator between the Most High and men, that man is Hamashiach Yahushua. So that's why, you know, all in all, even if the introduction to every brother's video, specifically in GMS, when we say Kah Halalim La, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, we're saying Yahweh in the name Yahushua, because it's through Yahushua that's how we're going to get to Yahweh. And why we say Bahashem Rahak Wadash, which means in the name Spirit Holy, which in other words means through the Holy Spirit, that's how we'll get connected to Yahushua. And of course, you see the link between Yahushua and Yahweh. So really, that's what the precept is talking about when it says 1 Timothy 2 and 5, for there is one power, that's Yahweh. It says there's one mediator, you know, the interlinked person, the one who's linking us, you know, Yaratazar, the elect men, and obviously between us and the Most High, where it says one mediator between the Most High and men, you know, an Israelite man, as I said, more specifically the elect, and the man, through the man, Yahushua HaMashiach. HaMashiach just means the anointed, just like the way in English Christ means the anointed as well.
We have a lot of self-satisfaction and giving Him the glory and heralding His name. We get pleasure in that. We get job satisfaction in that. People, you know, the corporate world, they be getting a lot of job satisfaction. You can get job satisfaction if you're doing something, you're accomplishing something. You know, even if it's just cleaning your room, you know, all little kind of things. Cleaning your room, cleaning your car, people get job satisfaction. Cleaning your new shoes, and you know. But well, what we're doing on a higher level, so should we not get job satisfaction for that? Holding the holy name of Yahushua, making it known. As a matter of fact, you can hold that precept. since
Which one is that,
I keep mentioning it. I think it's Matthew 6:9 or 9:6. That's the Lord's Prayer.
Okay.
Just where it talks about the name.
Okay.
And I ask you to hold Exodus
14.
Yeah, because it backs up the point, the title of this video, how to overcome the evil with the good.
So this is Exodus 14 and verse 14. The Lord Yahweh shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace.
Yeah, see? Read 13 and then read 14 again, Baba Kushar.
Okay. So Exodus 14 and 13. And Moses said unto the people, fear ye not.
Have you got the NLT?
This is KJV. You want NLT?
Yeah. Bring it. Read the NLT because I've been talking about this a little bit, but every time I bring it up, it's either too windy. The spirits get active. I don't, for some reason. So the more you get opposition in something, if it's a mental block or whatever it is, the more you got to fight to bring it out. Don't sidestep it. Because there's a reason why Satan's trying to hinder that. So
this is the NLT, the New Living Translation for Exodus 14 and 13. But Moses told the people, don't be afraid, just stand still and watch the Lord rescue you. Today, the Egyptians you see today will never be seen again.
Because people remember the Lucy Juicy, what people was doing. The fire was getting hot, and it was like crabs in a barrel. People jumping out, and people all kind of, what should we do? Even some, certain man in other camps. And then there's some controversy going on at the moment with the purple people. As a matter of fact, since it's just come to my mind, I'm going to bring it out. If anybody has seen it, on the elders have been, our big brothers have been talking about it.
I'm going to Kenya.
And him going over to Kenya.
Okay.
So you know anything about that?
Yeah.
Go on, bring it. What you know? Let me hear what you know.
From what Apostle, I think it was Apostle Harvey made a video on it as well, where Bishop Nate and of course his members in IUIC actually went over to Kenya to try and preach Black Jesus, which we know obviously that's not really the name, because of course considering the fact that they signed a 501c3 document, which really 501c3, to break it down, is just a non-profit organization, of which there's a guy called Charleston White. Elder Ariella spoke on it too, where the 501c3s are funded by the 501c4s, which means those are for-profit organizations that support those churches that are so-called non-profit.
In Jehovah's Witnesses and all these other denominations, they be getting that tax exempt. On the front line, there's a tax exemption, which they get that, but there's more to it than that. Go on.
So Khan, on that, because that 501c3 basically restricts the freedom of what they can say.
That's the point.
So hence why, he may be allowed to travel and whatnot, do this here and there. But at the end of the day, just to get to the point, Salakia, he went to Kenya, he preached Black Jesus, and then you had the police got involved, and then they got their little.
They wasn't holding. They wasn't. Well, let me say it right. If they held back, and that was an act of mercy for them, because because I know about some of these these in Jamaica. I know how they get down in Kenya, and brothers who know about the African countries, they're rough, man. I know some things that happened to certain people over, in Jamaica. They were not even from here. They went and you don't go to other places and just.
Nearly.
It's all right, brother. You gotta have faith, brother.
The spirit protecting us.
Yeah, but the spirit was protecting us. Read. I tell you what, we're gonna get on IUIC. We're gonna touch a little bit on it. But read that precept again. Read 14 and 14 again in the because that just reminded me what just happened. Read.
Exodus 14 and 13 to 14.
No. Just read 14 this time.
Right. Exodus 14 and 14 in the NLT. This is the Lord Himself will fight for you. Just stay calm.
See, some dogs was right. There was about 3 of them just racing. We were up the end of we didn't panic. We just watched it. We stayed calm. But let me say something right now. Stop. See, we actually put it into practice what we're talking about. Stay calm in the midst of chaos is a spiritual power. Right, so I just tap that in. Right? So stay calm in the midst of, and you heard me, so I'm going to read what it says. It says, yes, the ability to remain calm amidst chaos can be seen as a sign of inner strength. See, when you put into practice, oh, we're going to get back to IOIC, they didn't stay calm. As a matter of fact, they done the complete opposite. They took the 501c3, they denied the name, they're not using the name anymore, allegedly took the bag, going over, jet setting, and they was almost, could have been deleted, but the gas canister was an act of mercy, because it could have been from those high powered weapons. It could have been fatal. But it's all, now certain people need to watch that, and from visual, you got a visual example there, what not to do. And maybe Nate, which is between him and the Lord, and our elders be addressing it. I want to let the elders really address Nate, because they have history with Nate. But I'm just making bringing some upper some edification, that maybe he's going to turn around and he's going to repent. And those, any electing there that saw that with their own eyes, men with faith, see that visual example of what not to do. And in the other camps too. Because he also told people to get the juicy Lucy, which is why we started to talk about him. And some suffered the consequences of that. So if you saw that, and you saw these other things, and more things are going to happen, because even as I'm just going to address also as well, the Sakari camp, the elders said that camp is going to fall apart, it's going to come apart. And what happened this year, 2025, it has. In the hopeful year of our salvation. Let me say it. Let me address it in my memory, and so I have to go over it. Because brothers like to help me. I appreciate it, but some things you've got to fight your own battles. You've got to fight your own battles. No, I'm going to try and fight this one. So this is the hopeful year of salvation and deliverance for the elect, and destruction and judgment upon the wicked. So it turned over. Shikari camp is now falling to pieces, and it was predicted in the spirit, or prophesied, that it's going to happen. And also the same with the IUIC, was by our elders, was predicted or prophesied it's going to fall. Watch, stand still, and as a matter of fact, read it again. Baba Kushar.
This is
it's helping the point.
Exodus 14 and 14. The Lord himself will fight for you. Just stay calm.
Right. Just stay calm. Watch. What's the other one? Watch and wait thee upon me. And I like to bring that one out about watching. So
to read it again? Or
no. Habakkuk chapters. Go. We read 2. Go to the top, and
2 and 3.
Yeah. It backs up the point about standing still and watching and waiting. Or whatever you got after him, you can bring it out. Whatever you got.
So Habakkuk 2 and verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer.
Everything's about watching and waiting, man. I'll read this again. Hold that, Baba Kusha. I'm going to ask you to read it again. It says, stay calm in the midst of chaos is a spiritual power, because I just fell into that. And I was looking for something, and on the algorithm, he gave me he finished my sentence by saying, staying calm. I just tapped in staying calm, and it says, in the midst of chaos is a spiritual power. That's the spirit of the Lord, man. So right now I'm reading it. Yes, the ability to remain calm in the midst of chaos can be seen as a sign of inner strength, right? And brothers may have seen sometimes dogs be attacking me, and I learned this from some bad experiences about when a dog comes up to you and is barking. You look at it and don't do nothing. Don't aggravate the dog. There's a thin line between bravery and stupidity, but you can, says, remain calm. Look at the dog in its eye, right, and just remain calm. And the dog, you're gonna realize the dog's probably more frightened than you. Because I've been around people, and even certain people, my own families, and if you're nervous, it excites them. They get excited. They get more aggressive. When you're nervous and you're intimidated by them, they thrive off of that. And hence, to make the point, it's the same with Esau in this kingdom. Hence why we're going through this right now. The ability to remain calm in the midst of chaos can be seen as a sign of inner strength and a spiritual power. right? Because we talk about spiritual power. I'm going to look up that word as well. We talk about spiritual power. After this, I'm going to look that word up as well. Spiritual power represents resilience and the ability to find peace even in difficult times.
Yes.
Right, people, another thing too, I've got my brothers here, right? There's more reason for me to be calm if dogs come up and look aggressive and start showing their canines. I'll get the hour and a half. But I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah,
but you brothers know, I've got my, I got my. You got your firm, I got mine. You got your wall, we got ours. Spiritual, spiritual protection. Ultimately, it's the angels anyway.
Yes.
Invisible angels. So, all right, I looked that word up. I know brothers are holding something, but I'm going to see something else here to back up the point. What is spiritual power? Right, the water. Yeah? Spiritual power, because we like to talk about it, right? Spiritual power is a general sense, refers to the inner strength, because people think it's about, look at me,
look at me,
big muscles, and I'll pick up that. When you see the boxing, the brothers who are into boxing, martial art, pick up the table and he throws it at you, he's trying to intimidate. What's that guy named Derek Jazora? Some of brothers may have seen it. There was a clash with Derek Jazora and what's his name again, man? David Hay, that's it, David Hay. They was doing their trash talking. And brothers, when I mention them two, they're just some examples. They start getting in other faces, picking up tables. It's to show their bravado, their strength, and to intimidate the opponent. Oh, I got spiritual, you know, which they ain't got spiritual power, but sometimes that don't always work. You don't got to do that when you're dealing with spirit in the spirit. So let me read it. It says, in the inner, the sense refers to the inner strength and resources that comes from a connection to something beyond the physical. We know ours is connected to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yehoshua. And the angels, the visible angels, are visible angels.
Yes.
Because they do appear. We may not see them, but when the dogs come, our brother said this, and I don't want to put the brother's name on the spot. He was walking one time in a certain area or at a certain place where there's two, the evil eye ninjas was around, and he was walking and they left him, and I think they said, did you see that guy with them two giant men and I've heard this before, even back in the day, them two men right next to him, one man on that side and one man on that side, he was on his own.
Oh, I heard of that.
As far as he knew, he was on his own, but the angels was visible to the ninjas.
Wow.
You can't make this up. So this is the reason why we says, I read it again, the inner strength and the resources that comes from a connection to something beyond the physical. The angels, and some of them, they appear big, tall, whatever. Big black angels. We saw the one with what happened with LA. Brother, our elders were saying King David reappeared in the spirit, and all different types of examples. Ultimately, it's Yahweh Yahushua protection.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, physical, beyond the physical world, often a higher power or a belief system enabling individuals to live with purpose and resilience. Now, when I see a dog, and it's just what I've learned through I had to get over it though. What's the word? Same way as getting over
fear phobia.
Oh,
phobia.
Yeah,
The word
phobias,
you read my mind. With whatever yours is, cold showers, whatever. Same thing. You got or mental block. You can't sidestep it. You got to face your demon. They say face your demon, or get the bull by the horns. So that was the word I looked up. Spiritual power. So I think the point was made about that, yeah? We've got our connection with Yahweh, and we don't going to jump at. As far as the MOTB, we're going to say, apply the same thing with the Lucy Juicy. As an example, we're going to apply the same principle with the MOTB when that's implemented.
Just to add, brother, as you said something very beautiful, because at the end of the day, it's going to boil down to the MOTB, all right? So, as you said, we're going to need that spiritual power. As we said, the scripture says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thine time. Okay, we're trying to build up our wisdom, we're trying to build up our knowledge and understanding.
I was actually holding that. So
how have you got that? That's the spirit, brother, that's the spirit.
Go
on. I'm going to get this here. 2nd Ezra 2 verse 47. So he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of the Lord our power, whom have confessed in the world Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. So we have to stand stiffly in that time coming, brothers. We know this already. We're talking to the congregation. In the end of the day, we have to stand stiffly on those names. Okay? Because we cannot, Lord willing, we do not deny the Lord our Bashar. Because it was happened for who denied the Lord? Apostle
Peter.
He denied the Lord.
In a moment of weakness.
Right? In the moment of weakness.
Yeah.
But you know what? That he's going to be in the kingdom.
Yeah.
Right? He's going to be in the kingdom.
Yeah.
But he said the Lord knows all these things. Okay? But at the end of the day, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability, as the brother was holding, brother.
I can read it.
You can read it, brother. Go on.
Isaiah 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Wow.
Yeah, and on that point as well, when the brother Ariel here was talking about, remaining calm, the thing is that's also part of faith as well. When you have faith, you have confidence that you're going to be good.
Yes, right.
And our faith is rooted in Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Yes.
That's why this precept here, and before I get that precept, where it says in Isaiah 33, and I think it says verse 6, verse 6 says, and wisdom and knowledge, which is rooted from the scriptures, and that's where our faith is in.
Yes.
And again, through Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that's why we will remain calm. And Yahweh Tazar, that he will preserve us and keep that calmness during that time of the hour of temptation, for the MOTB. So this is another precept on that.
Before you go further, it's a beautiful. If you brothers saw this video, how this man, I think he's from Ukraine or something, when a bear went to come to attack him.
Oh, I think it was
He's a Russian, right? It's Russian.
Yeah.
Now, this is the spirit that we must be in. Can you imagine? He was blowing, because in the flesh, we do huff and puff. It's adrenaline, isn't it? As Ari said, when a dog comes up, we don't know, the dog could be, he might not have a muzzle in his face, he could come and bite you. But it's, as Ari said, to remain calm. And this bear, and bear, when that bear stands up on his legs, on his hinds, on his legs, right? And he's attacking that soldier. And he could have shot the gun, But guess what he did? He held his he breathed.
His composure.
Kept his composure. So going back to what brother said, Arya said, it's a beautiful thing, man, if you can compose yourself. That's where the wisdom and knowledge and understanding comes in. Go on, brother.
All right, just 2 words, since you mentioned that, just 2 words. I'm getting used to using this now. I'm going to start using it a bit more. Calm meaning.
Use the definition of meaning. What is meant by a word, text, concept, or action?
You got to.
No, it's alright. I said it.
It's alright.
I'm going to say it properly. Calm.
Or say meaning of calm.
I'm like a kid with a new toy. So I'm getting used to it. It's alright. Hold on. No one don't say nothing. I messed it up again. Let's start again. Calm meaning.
This is the definition of calm.
It's very similar to what we're talking about spiritual power. Not showing or feeling nervousness, anger, or other strong emotions. Doesn't mean your heart ain't beating.
Yes.
Right? Just because I know, because I'm talking some things I'm talking from experience. Like if you're being attacked, your heart may be, because you're in the flesh, your heart may be beating, but it's, what do they call it? Stone face.
Stone.
Yeah. No, stone. No.
Stone. Oh, yeah.
In boxing, they say.
Or poker's face.
Do what up. In boxing, they call it poker face.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to give your encourage your opponent. That okay, I can see he's working. Let me stay there. Okay, maybe he's got a wound in he's got a wounded rib. Let me work that. So you have to show a poker face. Same with dogs or bears, as you said. One more word, Baba Kushada. I know you're holding something. How are we for time? On there, how are we for time?
Let me check it.
We always
Can you
got.
see it on mine?
I can see it.
Can't really see it because it's too small.
39 minutes.
All right. Yeah, because we're aware of time, and time be flying, and brother's got a certain amount of time on one of his phones, so you have to be mindful of time. One more word I'm going to look up. Courage, meaning.
Here's the definition of courage. The ability to do something that frightens you.
See, because people think being courage, having courage is just like you're not scared. But let me read it. The ability to do something that frightens one. So now when we first started doing videos, we weren't naturals. I know some brothers, we just wasn't naturals, man. And maybe if you was growing up in that field, or the techie, that's the young brother, maybe he was natural, I don't know, in the tech net field. But some young brothers, like I know me and Ahab, we weren't naturals.
Oh, definitely.
We had to. It was like we had to cross over, and it was a new world for us. So even sometimes we think, oh no, we're fucking it up, man. But we look back, we say, oh, we did it, because we actually have to apply it. You have to apply. Basically, we listen to our elders, what they say to do. We do it despite how we feel. So that's courage, man. The Most High be looking at all of that, you know. You understand? So let me read it again. The ability to do something that frightens one bravely. Now, if I go into a certain area and I say, right, and my elder says, you can't come back unless you do it, that's an order, brother. You understand? So you're accomplishing the order. Ultimately, it's coming from Yahweh Shai, and He rewards you for that. We forget though. We sometimes, we don't. But He knows. He sees the pain and all the suffering and the fighting, the family struggles, brothers. Some brothers have family things where they have to really just put their foot down, and they don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But that's all. It's all part of it. The Most High be looking at everything, man. And the things we might forget, he hasn't forgot. Everything He says that he doesn't. Everything won't go unrewarded.
Yes.
Loosely paraphrased.
Yes.
But the ability to do something that frightens one, bravery, right? So strength in the face of pain or grief. So I'm saying it, I'm breaking it down, but the Most High, he got that down on lock. Everybody, he got everything down on lock. Strength in the face of pain or grief. He fought his illness. He fought his illness with great courage. So you could be lying in the bed and you're showing. You think I'm just lying in the bed. You're taking the pain without jumping out the window, without resorting back to mad people. Esau, taking his
medicine.
Yeah, there's another word though. What they call it in there? Pharmaceutical.
Yeah.
If you can withhold from the pharmaceutical, you know what it means. Pharmacy, pharmakia. It goes into casting spells. But the more you can withhold and rely on the Most High and ask Him and get onto the herb side of things, and it's a fight. It's all a fight. Yeah. The Most High be looking at all of that. I know you're itching to bring out your precept.
Even before I bring out this precept as well, on your point on Jake resorting to relying on Esau Eden. There was a brother's video that I was watching. I think it was from one of the elders at GMS Tampa Bay. He was mentioning about Jake gets so reliant on it, on those so-called tablets and drugs. Pharmakia, which is really the truth of it. They put them. It's like a spell type of state that they put Jake in.
Yeah, we've seen some of our families have to go through all of that. You know what I mean? Carry on.
They get so addicted to it. When they then come off it, they go mad. That's the thing, especially over there in Babylon. They have such a strong chemicals within it. Hence the name Pharmakia, which is really just spell casting in that type of way, with chemicals. They get addicted, they come off it, and then they go mad.
It's a constant fight for them. Yeah, carry on.
So I'll bring out this precept here, where it says, related to your previous point of being strong and being courageous. This is Deuteronomy 31 and verse 6. Be strong and of a good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them, for the Lord Yahweh, thy power, He it is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. So of course, again, as I mentioned in the previous point, that our confidence is really rooted in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Because if you really break it down, we have the ultimate power of creation backing us, and of course the mediator Yahushai also backing us too. Compared to Esau Eden, his power is nothing. His chariots are nothing. All that stuff, all that the blessings that Yahweh Hashem has given him it's all for a temporary time, and his fall is inevitable, just like Babylon's fall is of course inevitable. So that also links to Joshua 1:9, which says, "Be strong and of good courage, man." And as the brother read as well, courage, the definition of courage being, even though you're frightened of something, you do it anyway. It's a form of bravery. Us having that bravery is rooted in the knowledge that, okay, we got Yahweh Shem Yahushua backing us. That's why we walk with that confidence, ultimately. And this is another precept to back that up. Proverbs chapter 18:10, the name of the Lord Yahweh is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. And of course, right now in this age, we know about Yahweh Shai, man. He's the one who made the ultimate sacrifice. So read the names, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is a strong defense, a strong tower for us. That also refers to Psalms 115 verse 9, about he is our help and he is our shield. But that's really the point there, man. It's really just having that strong faith. That's where you get the courage rooted from. And of course, that's backed by Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So that's really the point there. I'll read it again, Proverbs 18:10. The name of the Lord Yahweh is a strong tower. You know, if you really think about a strong tower, it's something that's sturdy, it's hard to break. That's a strong tower, like as they say, an immovable stone. That's the way the Most High's name is. It's something that can't be shattered, it can't be broken, you can't shift it left or right. It's just there. That's the type of defense that we have that's backing us. That's why we gotta have faith. We're going to remain faithful in those names, Yahweh and Yahushua. And that day when the Christians are going to be calling on their false idol, Jesus Christ, we're going to be calling on Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and that's how we're going to be preserved, because we have faith in those names.
Hold Job 18. I'm going to read through some of that. I'm going to hit your ones after. Job from around 18, from around about 5.
This is...
Start winding down, yeah?
Yeah.
Get through this.
This is Job chapter 18:5. Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine.
Yeah, that's the outcome for these for the ease, man. The ease and all the other Goya, man. Right now, all you got to do is just watch the news for 5-10 minutes. You know, before I make sure. This is one of my things that I'll be doing in my routine, watching the news. I always get ideas to do videos. You know, hence why I can continue to throw out, you know, these videos, you know, the news, man. That's part of keeping watch, standing upon our watch, man. Yeah. And yeah, they're getting left rights here, left uppercuts, overhand rights. They're circling the drain, man. You see all of the earthquakes in Myanmar,
Myanmar,
probably going up to around the 3,000 mark by now. Yeah, how you say the name?
Myanmar.
You always get
and it was so bad.
It's in Thailand.
It even went as bad as going. It even spread over to the Philippines. That's how bad it was.
Yep. So so that's Most High licking them up, man. Visiting the earth. The Midwest. There's a whole heap of things going on there. There was a car crash, a van that drove into some civilians in Boston, some part of America, Boston somewhere. But that sounds like a random thing. Not a random thing. It's all part of the Lord, the Most High's music. But people just getting hit up, punched up, left, right, and centre. The tornadoes, people be getting deleted with the tornadoes. And there was another place that been hit up. So yeah, just to back up the point, carry on reading, because it kind of further brings it on, brings on the point.
Okay, Job 18 and verse 4, verse 6. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. The step of his strength shall be straightened.
See what's happening to him now? This is him getting boxed up, slapped up before the ultimate knockout. Right, in the 12th round, Most High slapping him up. So we know we're not just waiting in vain. You know the song Bob Marley. We're not waiting in that. You know, we're not waiting in vain. But people, their heads are going down, man. That look like something. Yeah, I'm just watching someone. People getting afflicted, man. People walking up and down, talking to themselves. I'm looking at it now. You can't see it, but I'm seeing it now. But on the way here, we see it. On the way home, people are getting messed up, man.
Yeah.
Well, what we're going to continue to do, stay calm. Carry on, Baba Bushra.
This is Job 18.
Stay calm in the midst of the storm.
Yeah,
See, look at that big dog over there, man. Nothing will be frightened, man.
Oh, the brown one.
That looks like a XL bully dog, the black one.
Yeah.
See, but they ain't troubling us.
Yeah.
See?
Right.
Go on.
We're
invisible right now.
Dogs can see spirits as well, man.
Yeah.
So Job 18:7, the steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down.
See what's happening, man? Right? They ain't gonna get a chance to do their new world order. And there's a lot in here, but since we're gonna start winding down, we're kind of winding down now, yeah? We're gonna get you to read that, and then we're gonna end with Romans. Let's read Romans, because that's the title of the videos in that. Romans around 12 and around 16 or 17. And we're going to finish off that. And we're going to end off with that.
Can we go with this now?
Yeah, sure.
Psalm 44:4. Thou art my King, O Lord our power. Command deliverance for Jacob. Through thee we will push down our enemies. Through thy name will we tread them under the...
That's why our elders and apostles be telling us about how important the name is, man. We saw what happening to IUIC already, right? He's on borrowed time, man. And I don't, our other brothers are, like as Elder Apostle Ricard said, he's got history with him. And they all wish him to repent.
Yeah,
they want him to repent.
There's a chance.
Because he goes all the way back to 1 West, and Elder Apostle Ricard said, Elder Apostle Ricard said that he was he was all right at one time, man. And he's a Jake, and we don't want to see, but at the end of the day, it's up to him. But we saw a glimpse of what could happen, and we're going to start to see things, man. Again, what happening with Sikari and Elazar, or however you say his name, Elazar, how you say his name, it's not looking good, man. And it's been prophesied that was going to happen. Started to fall to pieces. Sikari, their camp is falling to pieces. They have little now they're just throwing shots now at each other. What is supposed to be a good work to us, we're prophesying doom to the wicked. Now all he does when he does videos, which I try to keep it as brief as possible, is all about what they call about preaching for jealousy and just throwing shots at each other. All about letting out other people's dirty laundry.
With ego shots or something.
Ego shots, throwing shots at each other. Some preach for jealousy and envy. Preaching for jealousy and envy. Philippians chapter 1. That's all. You ain't gonna get edified by it. No one's gonna get edified by that. So even if I do watch them, I'll keep it as brief as possible and make sure I watch an edifying video, because you ain't getting no edification from them now. Yeah. Same with the other. What we're gonna start to see with these other camps. At one point, maybe they had some edification among them, but really it's about the elect, and I hope the elect come out of them. Anyway, and the elect will come out of them. So the title of this video is How to Conquer the Evil with the Good, not to get into that rut what they're in now, running away over in Kenya, getting shot at and all kind of canisters, gas canisters. It could have been fatal. So how to conquer the evil with the good, we're going to stay on that. What did Joshua say? We're gonna. As for my household, we're gonna serve the Lord.
Choose you this day. Let me get that.
Yeah, get that one. And as a matter of fact, that's a beautiful one to end on. Read Romans, and then we're going to end with that one. We're going to end with that one. What Joshua said.
Right, so this is Romans. Romans chapter 12 and verse 16. Be of the same mind one toward another. Mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Be not wise. And
when we go, what did you say?
I was gonna complete it.
Oh, yes, that's how we are. We with our brothers. How you feeling today, brother? I'm feeling good, but we what's the word? We sympathize with our brothers, man. We don't look down upon our brothers. Every day is different for each of us as individuals. And we're learning to be merciful to our brothers, but also we have to be merciful to ourselves too. Right? In order for us to continue to do this work. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. We know that. Our elders have been teaching us. Our big brothers have been reminding us. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Condescend and not to mind high things. Which is why we're seeing a disperse of these other camps too. That pride, man. Yeah. Carry on, Baba Kushar.
Go on. It says, mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate.
Yeah, be humble, be empathetic, considerate to our brothers, towards our brothers, and sometimes in your corporate world too, because we're shining we're a light shining among the world. We're a light among this world. So we set examples for these people. The other day that man come up to me, we were speaking about it, and he said, "Look at that, my bush